suppose this would be episode 2 of Maxin' and Relaxin' with Bob. That's me. And I quite enjoyed recording that last video. So I've been having to think about, like, how can I create some output to share the work that I'm doing in some way that it can help other people, but also in a way that doesn't add extra work to my already quite high workload, because the thing that I'd like to share is really my day-to-day work. From the last video, what I learned was I quite enjoyed the process of recording my workflow, but that ended up being over 1 hour video, and there's a fair amount of editing involved in even something that's sort of as meant to be sort of as rough as just me working on a video. Just working on a project. So I need to find a way, if I'm going to make this work, I need to find a way to automate the process. And I had a look at some examples, or at some available software online. Basically, what I want to be able to do is trim out silence, because usually when I'm working, a lot of the time I'm not talking. Most of the time I'm not talking, unless something's going really quite wrong. And I can incorporate some talking and commentary into my workflow without it interrupting my work. In fact, I think it can actually be quite helpful to think about things out loud. But there'll also be long periods of just patching, just looking at the screen, patching, or doing other things. So what I'd like to do is do a screen capture with commentary and then be able to automate the process of either cutting out or compressing all the silent bits, which means I could work for a few hours and then end up with a video that's hopefully under an hour, and then just talk when there's something of importance or of interest. So I had a look at automated video editing options out there. There was one called Time Bolt, and I quite liked looked like it does, where it analyzes a video, produces an XML file which describes the edits in the video, which you can then bring into like DaVinci Resolve, which is the video editor I tend to use, and it saves all of that manual editing, which is just not a practical thing to do regularly. But this is $250, about $250, maybe more, American, which makes it $250 American. That's almost $300 Australian, which is probably a bit much for me at this point in time. But then also, like, we're max patches here, so like I had a thought, like, well, can I achieve something similar in Max? And the answer's like, yes, of course you can. And so I started having a bit of a play around with building something that would automatically speed up silent sections of a video and then spit out a video, so I can automate this process. That is what I'm making right now. I think I'm actually going to build this from scratch. I'm going to record myself putting it together, and then I'm going to run that recorded video through the patch that I just built. So if you're watching this right now, if I stay, okay, this doesn't work yet, but I'm going to assume that in the future this is going to work. If I don't talk for a little bit, this video should automatically speed up and become quieter. Maybe I'll put background music in. I don't know if I'll get to that bit. So I'm just going to shut up for a second and see if this works. Worked. I should have been spinning around faster than I would be. Okay. Here's the plan. Here's the sort of thing we're going to build. I'll build it from scratch again so you can see me put it together, and I'll discuss it as I go. I'm reading in a video here. I've got a test video to work with. And this is a bit messy. I'll definitely make this tidier. So I'm going to read in a video. Basically, I'm going to measure the audio output of that video and compare it against a threshold, and if it is below a particular threshold, I'm going to speed the video up and I'm going to turn the sound down. Then if the audio is above a particular threshold, then I'm going to put the speed back to 1 and bring the sound back up. And then separate to that, I need to make like a to record that video, export it as another video. They're the two things I need to do. So I'm going to get rid of all this. I'm going to start from the beginning with a jit.movie. There's two jit.movie objects. One has a tilde, the one with the tilde gives you audio as well. I'm going to bring in my demo video here somewhere. If you hold Control, I think, oops, no, if you hold Alt when you drag in a file to max, little box or a selection dialog to give you to pick a couple of different options as to how you want to bring in the file. Basically, I want to create a message box that allows me to read in this file. That's quite useful because you can use it with a multitude of different objects. So that gives me some options. I've set up my playback. I've got a jit.movie tilde so I can get the audio. I've got a Q metro going into that. Whenever you're working with video, you want to use a Q metro instead of a regular metro. Regular metros, like I discussed in the last video, maxes depth first, so a regular metro will wait for all of the events to happen before it sends its next bang. If you're doing something really computationally heavy, that can really clog things up. A Q metro will be like, I'm gonna send bangs out every 16 milliseconds no matter what, and if you drop a frame, you drop a frame. And when you're working with video, that's the way you want to work. So I've just created some sends and receives, and I've done this because I know that I know when I built this just a second ago that this is going to get messy. So I like to use a lot of sends and receives. Some people don't. And I see arguments for both really. If you've got a lot of sends and receives, sometimes it can be hard to just visually see what's going on in your patch. I like being able to organize things, and I like to avoid crossed patch cables where I can. It's just a personal preference. So I've got a video that I recorded, which is just a test video out of OBS that has me saying speaking and then remaining silent and then speaking. Okay, let's turn the loop off. Cool. So that's the video I'll use to test. I'm also like thinking about design as I'm doing this, and I reckon mouse clicks might be a problem. Detecting audio, I might need to detect transients or like filter out transients. Now saying that out loud, I'm thinking maybe I can put transient filtering on the audio in before I do threshold detection. So let's keep going. Just swapped out the sends and receives for an mc.send and an mc.receive just so I can pack multiple channels together. I think that's going to make, I'm basically going to be working with stereo audio, so that's just going to mean fewer objects in the patch. Talking and talking and talking. And now I will stop. Talking and talking and talking, and now there is silence. Change there is silence. I had to add the number of channels to my MC don't receive object so that it would send out both my left and right. Seems it defaults to 1. Haven't used MC very much, so this is a learning, so there'll be plenty to learn here for me. Next thing I want to do is get some sort of threshold detection, so just simple at this stage. I think basically I'm going to sum the channels together, take an absolute value, so remove any negative values, and then put that through a slide so that I slide the value down so that I have fast attack and slow release, and then I'll push that into a signal and visualize it somehow, and then just use a greater than operator. Really simple at this stage. It's an mc.sum object. Hey, look at that! When I sketched this out last time, I was using control signals for the logic. So I was using a greater than control signal as turning my audio into floats, and then doing everything at control rate. I'm gonna have a go at using signal operators instead this time. I'm not actually like much of a sound person. I do a lot of music composition and a lot of video performance and a lot of interaction design, but not a huge amount of sound design or audio engineering, synthesis, that sort of thing. So I'm less familiar with the audio side of Max. So it's a good thing for me to explore a little bit. So that should be my simple thresholding in place. So I'm just using two signal objects. First signal object, or number object, sorry. So the first number object is getting its signal from the audio from the movie, which I'm summing together, running through an absolute, and then running a slide over it. So I should get smooth fall-offs. And then I'm running that into a greater than operator, and this should give me a 0 and a 1 coming out here. And I've got a change object in there because I'm going to be getting a lot of information out of that number, out of this object here, right? That's going to be sending 0 0 0 0 0 0 1 1 1 1 1 1 0 0 0, and if we pass that data all the way through our system, it means we're going to be firing off messages all the time, when really I just need to know if it goes, hey, I was 1 and now I'm 0, or now I was 0 and now I'm 1. So the change will filter out those repetitions, which makes the rest of our system much more efficient. So if you're checking for like something flipping on or off further up in the system, then a change operator sort of upstream is a really good way of optimizing things really quickly. I've got a send and receive for is talking, so I can use that for multiple things. I'm going to use it to speed the video up. I'm also going to use it to sort of duck the audio a little bit, maybe push up a background song. So maybe maybe I can have like a generative background music generator to run in the back of these videos. Maybe not for this video, but maybe for the next. So let's see if that works, hey? I'm gonna hit play on the video. I'm gonna watch this number box and just see what sort of value I'm getting. Last time I think like a 0.1 was a good threshold value. Here we have talking and talking and talking, and now there is silence. Once again I am talking, and now there is silence. Talking, and there's talking again, and now I will stop. I can actually just plumb that in there. Here we have talking and talking and talking, and now there is silence. Once again I am talking, and now there is silence. And this again, and now I will stop. Talking and talking and talking, and now there is silence. Once again, I'm talking, and now there is silence. And there's... And now I will stop. Sure why that's working, why that's not working. I should be able to put floating points straight into this operator. I think I'm just going to go back to good old control rate land. So I'm going to pull a float out directly out of my number here. I'm going to the standard greater than operator. Another float. Of talking, and now there is silence. Once again, I'm talking, and now there is silence. And there's... Again, and now I will stop. Classic Max mistake there. Operators by default work on integers. So if you are comparing, for example, let's say I've got like a number that's between 0 and 1, I want to see if it's above 0.5. I need to have an argument of any floating point number in there just to put the operator into floating point mode. You see this like, classic. Here we have talking, and now there is silence. Again, I'm talking, and now there is silence. And there's... Again, and now I will stop. Talking, and now there is silence. Once again, I'm talking, and now there is silence. And there's... Talking again, and now I will stop. Cool. That looks like it's working well. So the toggle is on when I'm talking and it's off when I'm not. Perfect. So I'm going to use that to control the rate of my movie using a rate message box. I'm going to pull out is talking. This is 1 when I'm talking, 0 when I'm not. So I'll just use a cell. Keep it simple. Zillion ways to do things, so you could write a little expression. I'm just going to select, am I talking, am I not? If I'm not talking, then I want to create a ramp that speeds up the video, and I want it to take, let's say, these numbers will all need tweaking, so let's say it's going to take 3 seconds to go up to a speed of 5. So we'll create a message and we want to go up to 5. 5's probably going to be too much. 5 speed. Say up to 3 over. Let's see what it's like. Okay, up to 3 in 3 milliseconds, and we need to put that into a line object. Let's look at what comes out of that. You can see how the line object works. Floating point. That's already 3, so that's okay. The other thing I want it to do is if it's a 1, if I'm talking, I want it immediately, like it's probably, actually let's not make it immediate, let's make it 5 milliseconds. So I want it to slow straight back down to standard rate of 1 in 5 milliseconds. Again, line needs a floating point operator. Put it into float mode. And, I start talking, we should go immediately to 1. Work. That into... Then I need to send that to my movie, so I'm going to create a send to movie. Into receive, and then I'll color them both the same. Oh, there goes Max. Let's do that again. I think that should be working. Let's give it a go. So I'm going to put a load bang in here. Actually, I'm going to make a load mess. Default that at 0.1. So that's my threshold value there. Become a parameter later if we make a GUI for this. Rate is working. Okay. So that's the main functionality of it there, right? At least as far as playback goes. If I play that again. We have talking and... It's a bit hard to tell, but you have to trust me that it's working. So let's go with those thresholds for the moment. I might need a better test video. I think this video is going to become the test video. I think this video will be the test video. So next I probably want to duck the audio a little bit when I'm not talking or when it's speeding up. Just to two things, because I might want to push audio up underneath it, but also mainly to ease that transition back. So you hear these little whoop, whoop when the video slows down when I start talking again. So I want to just put a bit of a fade on that. So I'll bring the audio down when it starts to speed up, and I'll fade it up. Let's do that now. There was a bug there. I had my message box going into the wrong side of line, but I think there's actually another quirk of the line object here. We're good, I think. We're good. Now there is silence. Cool. That looks like it's working, but I couldn't hear any changes, and that is of course because this MC isn't plugged into anything. So let's get rid of this. I'll actually create another send, and this will be for movie audio processed. Let's give that a go. Fade in. And now there is silence. I think that's good. So there's our fade out. I'm pretty happy with those those settings at the moment. So I'm just going to organize things a little bit. We've got audio ducking, we've got the video speeding up. If we wanted to, we'd bring audio up under this. The next thing that I need to do is to record the movie out. Once I've done that, I think I'm pretty happy with where this is at the moment. I might not put any backing audio in this particular video just for the speed, or maybe there will be. Who knows? You're the one in the future. You tell me. So I'm just going to label things, tidy them up, and then I'm going to have a look at JIT VCR, which I'll use to write the video file to disk. I'm gonna run this manually first. I'm curious as to how well this works, because we're writing a full HD video to disk. This is a heavy operation, and I'm also recording. I'm recording another video in OBS. This might not work with OBS running. So let's give it a go and see. Hey, I'm also wondering if write's going to give me a dialog box when I click it. I'm going to click write first, see what happens. I'm going to start writing. It does. Can I... Computer didn't explode. Test.mod video, it's 4 megabytes. Ooh, that's pretty big. Talking and talking and talking, and now there is silence. Again, I'm talking, and now there is silence. And there's... And now I will stop. Alright. Maybe that's working? Talking and talking and talking, and now there is silence. Rate's 43, that's a bit weird. Now once again I'm talking, and now there is silence. And there's... And now I will stop. I thought I set the frame rate to 25. Okay, why? For VDLL, frames per second 25. See some tweaking on the codec side of things. I actually don't mind if I've got to run it through a transcoder. As long as the files don't end up giant. It's writing a full HD video, okay. So that's not too bad. I can say write test.mov. I do want to know when the movie's finished and stop this automatically. So I'm going to set that up. Let's make a go button. I don't know if this is going to overwrite the file automatically. I hope it does. That would be great. So when I hit go, I'm going to bang my write test.mov. And I'm going to bang my read, and then I'm probably going to need to query every metronome. I need to... something? Load RAM, output matrix, post version. I want information. Like a bang when it's done. Movie duration, that's not really... Here we go, at position. Current normalized position. It's an attribute. It's clear. Legit.movie I can just ask. Like, you can sort of get everything and then route out the information that you need. I'd hope it would be the same with this one. Movie. Be a message. Load RAM. Only do. Great, playback, query. Maybe it just dumps it. Frame report. Maybe it's just dumping it out the whole time. Things? You're telling me things and I'm not listening? Yes. Well, you're telling me read. I don't want to write. Stop. DSP must be enabled before writing. Yeah, good. That makes sense. Okay. Frame report we can probably work with. We'll need to get the frame. We need to get the number of frames first, and then we can compare. What else do we have? Report. Loop report? That might be more like it. Loop notify, okay. That's what we're looking for. So we can set that as an attribute. We can say loop notify. Report 1. And then we are looking for the message loop notify for it. Or select to select only like might only work with floats. Let's see. We'll run it again. Okay, so let's make a send there. Stop. Like a sign. Stop. And going to need to enable the DAC on start. Okay. Check that works, so turn it off, double click it. There we go. So we know our DAC will be on when we start. I'm also going to make a gate that will enable or disable going to default that to 0. Gate defaults to 0 as it is, but I'm just going to be explicit about it. What else could we add to this? Like, something that would probably be useful is like audio normalization, maybe another run of compression, background music. Maybe I'll do that as a second run. Things to do today, but editing this video won't be one of those things. Yeah. Okay. Normally I delete P windows. They can be performance hogs. They're better, they used to be, but I'm gonna leave that in for the moment. Leave it in for, and then to do one more test. I'm gonna stop recording this video and run it through this. Maybe upload it to YouTube. Catch you around.